Hello everybody, my name is Manan. This is episode 4 of a course I'm doing about how to find yourself abroad, and this episode is all about loneliness. I will talk about 2 different lessons that I have learned in being lonely and how did I really overcome that. So before I begin the episode, I want to make this very clear that I am not a certified therapist, even though my hair are gray. I am also not in any way certified to give any kind of mental health advice. All of this, what I'm saying, is just from my own personal experience. You could be going through different stuff, and some of the things that I say would work for you, some might not. Please give it a try and see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then please don't hate me for it. I'm just trying my best. What does loneliness really feel like? And to me, it often felt like being transparent, like nobody was really seeing you, like you were made of glass, and even though people looked at you, people saw you, people shook your hand, they never really saw you. That's what it felt like, being invisible. And that resulted in a sort of physical feeling of ache oozing through every pore of your body. It's like you need to be this feeling to be hugged by someone loving and caring. For a very long time I chased this feeling. I thought this feeling was in other people. I thought this feeling was in relationships. I thought if I met more people, if I talked to more people, if I shared myself as much as possible, I would be able to fulfill that little hole, this ache inside me. But it never really worked. Even though I was an introvert, I created a persona of myself that was extroverted, that enjoyed being with other people, that enjoyed talking. I created this flamboyant guy who enjoyed parties, who enjoyed to hang out with other people, who enjoyed to connect with other people. But in reality, the point was that I felt that I was disconnecting more and more from my internal self. This brings us to lesson number 1, which is loneliness is not about other people. Loneliness is about connection. It's about exposing yourself. You could be lonely in a room full of people, or you could feel connected, fulfilled, whole while writing in your journal. So how do we connect with other people? And that's where the lesson number 2 comes in. We connect with others by connecting with ourselves first. How do we do that? And why can't we really connect with ourselves? Well, the answer is quite simply because we don't see ourselves. And that might sound kind of cliche, but it's true. And let me explain you why. Our minds are not just processing machines. Our minds don't just take in information and process it. Our minds overlay information in what I am seeing. So if I'm seeing a tree, if I'm seeing a house, I'm not seeing it completely because I have a preconceived idea of a house, a tree in my head. I have hundreds and thousands of trees that I have seen, and I just quickly take a snapshot of that in order to save my visual memory. I just form the idea that it's a tree, and that's it. How does it affect our relationships with ourselves and with everybody else? When we look at others, we are consistently judging them. Too short, too long, too brown, too black, too white. And it's not like I'm blaming you for judging, because it is automatic. It is what our minds do. Our minds cannot simply handle uncertainty. When we go into meeting someone, when we go into finding someone, when we go into finding a piece that would fill this hole, we are automatically going forward with a preconceived idea. We want something from that, and that creates a judgment. That creates an expectation from the other person, and we want them to be a certain way. Why do we want them to be a certain way? Because the society, everything that has been shown to us about friendships, about, finding a connection is flawed. It's not real. When we look at Friends, the TV show, when we look at all the characters there, we automatically form relationships with them, and we somehow are not want the similar kind of fun and quirkiness in our existing relationships, and that simply cannot happen, because if we go into meeting someone new and we automatically start expecting of them to fulfill this specific need that we have, then it will not work out. So how do we solve this? And the exercise is quite simple. Remember when I told you about looking at a tree and we are not looking at it as it is? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at a tree. I want you to look at a tree and think to yourself, okay, what if I was looking at it for the first time? What if I didn't know that this was a tree? What if I had never ever seen a tree in my life? What if I was just born and I'm looking at this right now? And the more you look at it, the more a sense of wonder and amazement will start to bubble up. You will start to look at the branches, you will start to look at the trunk, how everything diverges and then converges, how all the patterns of the branches form in this amazing way. You could look at a tree for hours, and that's what children do. Children are filled with wonder and amazement because they're looking at everything for the first time, because their memories have not been formed. We can do that as well. Tree is the first exercise, and the second exercise is us. Let's imagine now that we are in this body for the first time. We have this mind for the first time, and somehow or another you have been ported inside this body and this mind to explore it, and you're in a stranger's body, let's say. And how would you explore it? Oh, look at my hands. Oh, so hairy. Oh, look at my face. I have gray hair. This makes me feel cold. This makes me feel hot. When I drink milk, it makes me feel burpy. When I read this thing, it makes me feel sad. When I watch this movie, it makes me feel happy. Start looking at yourself as a stranger, without any preconceptions, without any judgments, and you will start to form a sense of wonder and amazement at what you're doing, at who you are. You will start to form a connection with yourself. And trust me when I say, when you start to make a connection with yourself, you will never ever be lonely. You will always have somebody with you all the time, and that is how it should be, because when we go out and expect others to fill the hole that is within us, to expect others to fill the ache that is within us, we will always be dependent on them. Even if we have everybody around us that wants to help us with it, we'll still be dependent on them. And eventually, if we don't fill our needs ourselves, if we don't get our own diet, if we don't get our own vitamins, they will resent us for not picking our own load. That is not to say that there is not a space for relationships. That is not to say that you should expect things and you should give things for your family. That is all well and good, but going into something expecting to fulfill your own needs first, that is a recipe for disaster. That does not really work out well, and that is why we have to first form a connection with ourselves, with our own body, with our own mind, how we are. And that starts with looking at us as a stranger that we can befriend. We can be friends with ourselves. We can be our biggest ally. We can be someone who cheers for us. We can be someone who feels proud for us. We can be someone who pushes us in the direction that we want to be. That is how you deal with loneliness, and that has been my experience. And if you're still watching, then I want to thank you for watching this far, and I'll see you in the next episode, because I love you all and I wish you all the best from the bottom of my heart.